Alright guys, El Crystal here again with another short review. This time it's Tower Wars, a tower defense game with a slight twist. Instead of just defending your own base, you're also in charge of sending out waves of units to your enemy. I've been really enjoying this game. Out of all the indie games I've played, with maybe the exception of Minecraft, I think I've played this one the most. There isn't much of a story to follow in terms of why you're fighting your enemy, you just kind of go along with it. You're in charge of placing towers in your territory to slow your enemy's advance to your castle, as well as trying to kill them as quickly as possible. There is a line on the map that shows the route your enemy soldiers will take, and it is your job to try and make this as long and effective as possible, leading your enemy back and forth past the same towers to try and get the most out of them. There are about 8 towers, all have their own advantages and disadvantages. The enemies have shields, armour and health, and your arrow dispensary towers are your most basic towers, and they're most effectively used to take down your enemy's health and are weak against shields and armour. Ballistic towers are most effective against enemies' armour, but are weak against shields and health. The Voltaic tower are best used to take down your enemy shields and are weaker against armour and health. So as you can see, you have to be a bit tactical in how you position your towers so that the Voltaic towers take off your enemy shields first, then the ballistic towers take off the armour, and then finally arrows to take down their health. There are also other towers that don't exactly attack your enemy but can slow them down or provide bonus to neighbouring towers. You can also upgrade each tower to level 3, which requires gold to do so. You earn gold by killing enemy units as well as from your own mines. You begin the game with 3 mines and you spend gold and battle points to upgrade the amount of miners in the mine and ultimately the level of the mine. Again, on top of defending your own castle, you're tasked with sending out waves of your own soldiers to your enemy and trying to destroy their castle. There are about 9 unique units, each with their own benefits and drawbacks, and you start the game off with Mr. Mopsy, a grunt unit who you use for the first couple of waves to earn battle points. You can then upgrade to stronger units with more armour and health, as well as more DPS. There are tank units with huge armour and health but move slowly. There are support units like Madame Sudsy, who places shields on friendly units on their advance to your enemy's castle, as well as Baron von Pepto, who drops a healing ring when he dies. There is also a transport unit that has a lot of armour that can hold units inside of it and will drop them off wherever it dies, allowing you to get smaller units closer to your enemy's castle and past your enemy's initial line of towers. Again, like your towers, your units can be upgraded to level 3 as well, giving more health, armour and shields. The further and longer your units last in enemy territory, the more battle points you will earn. Battle points are like gold. It is a currency that you use to upgrade your units and your mine. On top of upgrading specific units, you can also upgrade technology, which will benefit all of your units, such as faster movement speed, more health, more armour, and bigger launch queues. Now, like I said at the start, I really like this game. The only drawback that I can see, which I personally don't mind but I can understand why other people won't like it, is the game is multiplayer only. There is a single player option, but that's just tower defense and you can't send out waves, and it's just a case of seeing how long you can last. There is a rating system in the game. You start off with a rating of 1000 and if you lose it goes down, if you win it goes up, but it doesn't seem to put you in separate brackets so that you're facing people with similar ratings. There were multiple times where I was put up against someone with much higher rating than me and much more skill, so the game is a little unforgiving at times. However, the community behind the game is great. The times that I did get put up against someone much better than me, they were more than happy to offer their help and experiences, giving me tips on how to play, so for that I'm grateful. It's rare to come into a game as a noob and not only be welcomed but be helped. There isn't much more for me to give a rating out of. My other reviews I usually rate story, gameplay, graphics, characters, etc, but this game doesn't really have a story, nor does it need one. The graphics are very nice, cartoonish like soldiers and towers, as well as nice colours. The gameplay is great. I love tower defense games and I love the fact that you send out your own waves in this one. So for Tower Wars, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I would give it a 9, but I think the fact that it's an indie game, not really advertised that much, there aren't a lot of people playing it, so you can find yourself waiting up to 20 minutes to find a game. However, I mostly found one in about 5 minutes, which compared to bigger games like Dota 2, that's normal. Oh, I forgot to mention there is a co-op mode in it, so you can play with 1 or 2 of your friends. It is pretty much the same game, however each player has their own gold and battle points and they share the same territories. This has been my Tower Wars review and thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, you might want to consider subscribing to my channel for more indie game reviews in the future, as well as the odd gameplay video. My last review was Trine 2, a fairy tale puzzle game, and my next review will be VVVV, which is also a puzzle platform game. Bye.